And welcome to This Day. It is Saturday, December 21st, but I didn't have to tell you that because I'm at the desk. We know it's Saturday if I'm at the desk. It's also the winter solstice. Welcome to the first day of winter, everybody. Christmas is just around the corner. Have you done all your shopping? This is the last weekend before Christmas to do some shopping. Malls are going to be packed. Everything's going to be packed. I might have a little more to do. I don't want to go out there and do it, but I have to. Got to get all those presents under the tree. All right, folks, on our show today, I hope you got your shopping done. On our show today, Hoag Cancer Institute's Dr. Simon Kagi is going to be with us, and then Window Jazz, Annette Rodriguez-Gosling is going to be here as well. So stay tuned for those. We want to keep you informed, and we got some great movies coming up next week. Bree's not going to be here. I'm not going to be here. The crew's not going to be here for most of the week. We are going to have some great movies lined up for you in lieu of watching This Day. And on Christmas Day, we got 9 a.m., The Christmas Story, beautiful classic movie. Love that one. No commercials for that one. We're going to see it all the way through. It's a Wonderful Life. The Green Book is lined up. And then day after Christmas, Best in Show, a great comedy, American Underdog, and Lion. Then on the 27th, Downton Abbey, A New Era. And 11:30, The Upside, and Paper Moon. And then on the 28th, we got Blues Brothers movie. I loved that one. I remember seeing it in the theater way back when. And Miracle at 11:30, and then 4 p.m., Alice in Wonderland. So get ready for some great movies next week to enjoy the rest of the holidays with. Let's take a check on our weather, and we got some great temperatures as we head into winter and Christmas Eve and all that. So great winter-like temperatures for Southern California, really. What, mid-60s, that's about the best we can do. 40s overnight, nice and cool. Bundle up for go see the Christmas lights and sing some carols, get some cocoa going. It's going to be a great week, and let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset. Oh, here's a beautiful picture. Thank you, Dave Southworth, for sending this one in to us over at Building 851. And the sunrise this morning was 6:51. Sunset tonight is going to be 4:47. If you'd like to send us a picture of beautiful ornaments, lights around the house, around the trees, got dogs, pets dressed up as for holidays. We'd love to see any of those. Email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we will use it in our sunrise sunset segment. All right, when we come back, Dr. Simon Kagi is going to be talking about what's going on at the Cancer Institute. Stay with us.
When it comes to life's most important medical challenges, where do you go? Welcome to the Hoag Institutes. Our patient-centered approach to care is rooted in clinical excellence and guided by world-class teams. Unparalleled expertise, world-class care, all within the Hoag Institutes, right here in OC.
And welcome back to This Day. Hoag's Precision Medical Medicine program offers targeted therapy for cancer patients. And welcome back to the program, Dr. Simon Kagi, who's head of the oncology area there, medical director of neuro-oncology. And welcome back to the program. First of all, what is your role here as the director? You oversee the entirety of this entire program? It seems like a lot.
Yeah, it can be a lot. So I oversee neuro-oncology. It's a subspecialized niche within the sort of larger medical oncology practice at Hoag. And what that means is basically that I take care of the patients that are diagnosed with central nervous system malignancies or cancers, as well as certain precancerous or predisposing syndromes that might lead to brain tumors in these patients. In addition, I also see lung cancer. I also see melanoma. That also works out well for me because many of these patients actually have brain tumors from their lung cancer, from their melanoma, which I also assist with managing. So it's a fairly broad specialization, even though specifically treating a brain cancer patient, it's a really rare diagnosis, and it requires maybe a higher level of training to take care of those patients very well.
And if a lung cancer spreads to the brain, it comes to metastasized lung cancer, is it a different way of treating something that maybe developed or started in the brain? Or did you drill down to that kind of science level of what the makeup of the cancer is?
Yeah, we definitely want to know what kind of cancer is in somebody's brain. if they start with, let's say, melanoma or lung cancer, that happens to go to the brain, we're very sure that if it wasn't there before and it's there now, that it's the same kind of cancer. But occasionally patients may actually present with a cancer that started in the brain, and there might be some ambiguity in whether or not it's a brain cancer from the actual brain or if it had actually traveled to the brain, especially if their CAT scan of their chest, of their abdomen, of their pelvis does not suggest a primary site.
Okay.
So yeah, there's some investigation that we need to do, and that may involve a brain biopsy.
Okay. And you guys are also a research area, so what are some of the innovations that Hoag is working on in this area?
Right, so with respect to, say, precision medicine, for example, I mean, that's a big buzzword. A lot of people are very excited about sort of the future of precision medicine. It's basically a way of determining the exact drivers of disease. You know, what is wrong with that engine? What is wrong with the cellular process that is causing that cancer to grow and develop and metastasize? We have done through a lot of research, extensive investigation into understanding those drivers, and we call them biomarkers. There are certain biomarkers right now. There's probably 20 to 30 different biomarkers that we have drugs that are actually developed for, and we call those drugs targeted therapy. Okay. And in a way, it's sort of, when a cancer is utilizing these pathways, these biomarkers to grow, that's a lock that is stuck in the on position. We've now developed drugs that can interfere with that lock and turn it off, and therefore that signal turns off, and that cell stops growing.
Now, the old treatment was give everybody chemotherapy, kind of thing. And I'm being very general, but there weren't a lot of tailor-made therapies for specific kinds of growth cancers and a different kind of cancer. So chemo was the basic one. It kind of wiped folks out. They lost their hair. Every fast-moving cell in the body was kind of destroyed. That's why you lose your hair and all those things. So when we talk about these biomarkers and we talk about drilling down, are you actually taking DNA or genetic information from that patient and tailor-making it for that specific patient?
So that's exactly right. So we don't personally do that at Hoag as let's say, like what a pharmaceutical company might do to develop these drugs. But over the course of decades, we've learned that there are certain pathways that these cancers are addicted to. Like, for example, EGFR positive lung cancer. There are certain lung cancers that use this pathway called EGFR that is essentially constantly on. These receptors are on the cell surface of each of these cancer cells and are basically signaling to the cancer cell to continue to grow and grow and grow. There are at least 3 generations of targeted therapies that are designed to block that EGFR pathway. And each subsequent generation that we've developed, these drugs are more effective, they last longer, they overcome resistance mechanisms, and they're much more tolerable. So there are less side effects associated with them.
Now, as a biomarker drug, for instance, like when Jimmy Carter had his brain cancer, and they seem to have a very specific biomarker and specifically tailored drug for that, and he was basically declared cured, from that. Is that something that we wouldn't have happened 25 years ago?
Yeah, that's for sure. So what Jimmy Carter has, and I believe he's still alive,
yes,
is that he has a melanoma, and a melanoma that metastasized or spread to the brain. So he doesn't technically have a brain cancer that started in the brain, but it's exactly one of these sort of entities where from the body it has traveled to the brain. And melanoma is one of those cancers that is classically associated with going to the brain. It's one of the first things I do when I see a patient with melanoma, depending on the stage, is to get a brain MRI, because many of them actually already have metastatic disease in their brain. So with Jimmy Carter, for example, melanoma is one of those cancers that is very immunogenic, meaning that it can, if you do the right thing and if you give them the right medication, you can stimulate the immune system against the cancer. It is partially dependent on those biomarkers. One of them is called PD-1 or PD-L1. there are drugs that target those biomarkers that block the interaction of the melanoma with the immune system. What I mean by that, the melanoma is actually hiding from the immune system, and what we're blocking or what we're taking away essentially is sort of the mask. So we're unmasking the melanoma and allowing the immune system to see that cancer and kill it, which is naturally what our immune system does anyway.
Right. So you're actually programming our own immune system to fight cancer for us, right?
Exactly. We're basically reminding the immune system what it's supposed to be doing in the first place.
Okay. And so what are some of the benefits of this targeted treatment? Is it maybe less, side effects and things like that?
Yeah, so like I said, it depends on the generation. So earlier forms of targeted therapy, whether it's CML, lung cancer, melanoma also has another subset of targeted therapies for it. We've gotten a lot better in designing these treatments where they last longer, they're much more tolerable. Some of the side effects that we encounter, for example, with the EGFR mutant lung cancer is actually a skin rash. And that's mainly because EGFR is not just in lung cancer tumor cells. It can be found in our skin cells, in our colon cells, and other parts of the body that if we mess with that pathway, we can cause those side effects. And like I said, newer generations are less prone to causing these problems. They still happen, but I think they're much more tolerable.
Okay. So what gets you most excited about this pathway and this kind of area of research? Are we going to get to the point where we have just absolutely almost curable ways of treating almost all these cancers if we stay on this path?
Yeah, so we're starting to move these drugs that we're using to control disease, and we're doing a very good job of controlling certain types of cancers. We're moving them into sort of the earlier stage of disease where after, let's say, radiation and chemotherapy or even after a surgery, we're given these drugs for, X number of years to basically push these patients or mop up the rest of the cancer that wasn't either irradiated or cut out. We are moving towards, I feel like, curing these patients. Of course, it depends on the biomarker, depends on the medication, depends on the tolerance of the patient, and as well as their age and other medical conditions. As far as the metastatic setting with these targeted therapies, a lot of patients get these medications and just stay on them as sort of as a measure to control their disease. And in some patients, like in CML, for example, we've essentially turned that into a chronic disease, like hypertension or diabetes. And people just live normal lives with very, very minimal side effects from their medications.
And so when we talk about that mop-up kind of thing for a couple of years afterwards, is that because in certain cancers, we think you're cured, we can't find anything, but they're still on a microscopic level, it's going on somewhere, and it just hasn't maybe metastasized in a new place?
That's exactly right. So with surgery, you can have the most amazing and the best surgery in the world, but you can't get every single cell. Now, we know that in some diseases, surgery is very, very curative. There are some breast cancers where surgery can be curative, lung cancer as well. But in a certain patient population, especially when it involves lymph nodes, we know that cancer is already spread to that lymph node, and those lymph nodes are basically exit ramps to highways for the rest of the body. And we do, at that, in certain patient populations, do recommend some form of therapy after surgery. We call that adjuvant therapies to, again, mop up and to decrease the risk of recurrence somewhere else.
All right. Dr. Simon Kagi, Medical Director of Neuro-Oncology over at Hoag, thank you very much for joining us. If folks want to find out more, they can go to hoag.org/cancer or 949-7-CANCER. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
Do you suffer from low back pain? Hoag Orthopedic Institute is the #1 provider of orthopedic and spine care in Orange County. Our Back to You program is a unique, non-operative, evidence-based approach to treating low back pain. Our spine strengthening program combines physical therapy with education on pain and nutrition. Let Hoag Orthopedic Institute's Back to You program get you back to doing what you love. For more information, visit hoiexperts.com/spine or call 855-999-4641 to find a doctor.
How do you know when it's time to replace your windows. Here to give us all the insights that we need to know, we welcome Annette Rodriguez, founder of Window Jazz.
Right. Thank you for having me.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for coming back. It's so nice to have you, Annette.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Yes. So you are a woman-owned, woman-led business.
That's right.
Very ambitious.
Yes.
So tell us more about Window Jazz.
So Window Jazz is a window replacement, vinyl window replacement company. We offer all types of designs of windows. We are located here in Laguna Woods, but we cover complete Southern California. When we finish your windows, we can offer you window treatments, shades, shutters, and blinds, all that jazz.
Right. Okay. So that is indoor and outdoor?
Yes.
As far as, because shutters can go either way, right?
Correct.
Indoor or outdoor.
Outdoor shades for your patio covering, all
Okay.
types of window treatments.
As well as inside, soft
Correct.
treatments, blinds, drapery.
No draperies,
No drapery.
shades, shutters, and blinds.
Okay. Wow. It is all that jazz.
Yes.
So why should people choose Window Jazz when they're considering, replacing their windows? It's time. You might be getting cold air coming in, hot air going out,
Well,
vice versa.
Bree, there are many, many choices when it comes to window replacements. So Window Jazz takes pride in listening to what the client is looking for, offering design options, giving them what they need as far as the airflow. We want to make sure that they have what they're looking for. So we want to keep them happy. Plus, we live in Laguna Woods, so we want to make sure that we give them exceptional service.
Absolutely. Yes. Our viewers and people here, residents, absolutely deserve the best they can get, and I know they're going to get it from you. So tell our viewers, how do they know when it's time? It's like, it's sort of that voice in the back of your head where you're kind of pushing it out of the way. I don't want to deal with it. It seems like a big headache. My house is going to be a mess.
Right.
Right? I mean, those are a lot of legitimate concerns as well as cost.
Well, as we all know, Laguna Woods is pushing 60 years, and our windows are just about that, 60 years old. So when you find that you're having difficulty opening and closing your windows or doors,
Like a sticking, maybe?
sticking, they're stuck, you just can't get them to move. You find debris in the tracks of the window, or the tracks are bent. You'll find condensation in your windows. You will find rot, different types of broken areas around the windows. So you want to make sure that with replacing the new windows, you're going to find that you'll have noise reduction, and you'll also save on energy costs.
Right, right.
Because the heat will bounce away in the summertime, and the cold will bounce away, leaving you a comfortable indoor climate.
Right. So I know that our viewers are going to have a lot of questions to ask when it's time for them to consider window replacement, which, as you have stated, is now, right? So can you go through a few of the common questions and answers that your clients have either asked in the field or that that they're probably wondering about?
Absolutely. So, questions. Is there a fee for the estimate?
Oh, that's a great one.
Some companies charge a consultation fee. At Window Jazz, we do not charge. We'll go out to the home, we'll survey the situation, and there's no cost at all.
Okay.
How long have they been in business? You want to make sure that there's a track record. You want to know that they can get the job done. At Window Jazz, we've been here working in Laguna Woods nearly 10 years, and because we have great relationships with the alterations and the city, we seem to be able to get the jobs processed in a timely manner.
That is so important.
People will ask, how long will the installations take? You need to know how much time the resident would like to know. Our jobs typically will take 5 to 6 hours for completion of a full home installation.
Full home.
in Laguna Woods. We have an experienced team, so our team gets through it. We have a process, and they move right through it.
Wow, that's great.
What about the warranties? Make sure that the warranty includes the workmanship. At Laguna Woods, we make sure that we have we offer a manufacturer's lifetime warranty along with the labor warranty. We want to make sure that your windows are going to last with the installation when all is said and done. If we're going to offer a lifetime warranty, we have to make sure that it's going to last.
Absolutely.
Is the group licensed and insured? Very important.
Very important.
Very important. So you do want to make sure that they're licensed and insured. And here in Laguna Woods, they have a strict policy and rules and regulations that we follow, and to make sure that everything is up to date and up to speed. Are they familiar with the local codes and ordinances?
Again, very important.
So in Laguna Woods, there's a alterations process, a permitting process, and the Laguna Woods inspection. So we make sure that we handle all the paperwork for our residents. We submit it to the alterations, and once that's approved, we take it over to the city and get everything approved through the city. Once the job has been installed, we then organize the inspector to come in. When the inspector's done, then we hand everything over, all the originals over to the resident. So they have everything done, everything is done for them. Makes it very easy for them. Another question, will they provide references and guarantee their work? As mentioned before, we offer the lifetime warranty, so yes, we absolutely guarantee our work. We provide everything on the quote. So when we provide a quote, it displays the material costs, the taxes, the installation, everything is said and done right out the door. So there's no questions on additional fees after the job is done.
Right.
What we offer you on the quote is what we will present to you at the end of the day.
Break out the pricing in terms of
We can break out the pricing
cost of
for
windows,
you.
costs of labor, tax, as you mentioned. That's great.
Yeah.
So you
Makes
provide a lot of transparency.
Absolute transparency. When the job is done, we make sure that the resident knows that all the debris, everything is cleaned up, and when we leave, their home is nice and clean and swept and vacuumed to the best of our ability. So we can make sure that they have a nice, comfortable, beautiful home with their now beautiful windows.
Right. So, Annette, one of the questions that is swirling through my mind, and most likely through the minds of viewers, because we have a lot of different alternatives when it comes to doors and windows these days. Does Window Jazz replace like for like, or can you go to your client's home and say, wow, you really have an opportunity to open up this wall and turn it into a wall of windows?
Great question. So that is one of the exact points that we take great pride in what we're able to offer our residents, our clients and our residents. Yes, we can do like for like, but when I walk into a room and I see their outside view and the window that they have, I look at the options, and we offer the suggestions of what might look best, of what they might want to think about to make that change.
Kind of maximize the potential.
We can maximize. So yes, we can replace just like for like retrofit energy efficient vinyl windows, or we can offer, we can break the wall, expand the window, make it a full picture window so they have a beautiful view, whether it's looking over a golf course or looking over a beautiful garden, or in some areas they have a nice lake water area that they can overlook, or the city lights. So absolutely, yes, we can do that.
Maximize as much as possible.
That's right.
Increasing the value of the home as well.
It absolutely does.
Yes.
Great question.
So we touched on this a little bit, but I want to make sure that residents really understand the benefits of replacing the old 60-year-old windows and doors.
Well, number one, it's going to increase your property value. It will definitely save the energy costs. You're going to save up to 70% of your energy costs. Again, it bounces the cold away, bounces the heat away in the summertime. You don't have to use your electricity as much. Also, reduce your noise,
Right.
the outside noise. So it does.
So some upfront costs, but aggregated over the course of
That's right.
electrical cost reduction. It's going to kind of balance
Over
it
time,
out.
right.
Over time.
Over time it will.
So is Window Jazz running any promotions right now for the holidays?
We do have holiday promotions, so please give us a call. I'm Window Jazz. We offer retrofit replacement windows, and we offer window treatments, shades, shutters, and blinds, all that jazz.
Wonderful. And where's your location?
So we are located in Laguna Hills. We're in the field most of the time, but we have an office in Laguna Hills on Avenida de Carlota. It's best for us to go to their home because for us to see their environment and do the proper measurements and to give the suggestions on the aesthetics of the
And
of
the
home.
potential. I love that. Fantastic. And you know, you're so approachable and you're just so empathetic. And I know that you're going to provide such great service to the clients.
you.
And the before and afters are going to be amazing.
We want everybody to come and give us a call, and let's see what we can do to help beautify your home.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Annette, with Window Jazz. Give her a call and replace those dated windows.
That's right.
You're watching This Day on Village TV.
For some of you, it may be time to replace your dated windows and doors. I'm a resident of Laguna Woods and have served the community for 10 years. As a women-owned business, you can trust Window Jazz to provide seamless service from the moment we meet to the completion of the job. Most jobs are completed in just one day.
Window Jazz put windows in my home. The service was amazing, the price couldn't be beat, and I would recommend them to anybody.
Call Window Jazz now to schedule your free consultation.
And welcome back. I want to talk about our Saturday movie, and it is a great one for the first day of winter. It's a great one for the holidays. It is White Christmas, Irving Berlin's classic, starring Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, and Vera Ellen. It's brought to us by RadNet. It's going to be on at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. It is the story of two songwriters who team up with two dance and song girls, and they go off to save their old general's Vermont Inn. And it is a great classic. White Christmas is just one of the best Christmas songs out there. I love it, love hearing it every year, and this is where it all started, right here in Irving Berlin's White Christmas. So make sure you stay tuned for that today at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Let's take a quick check of our weather before we head out. We got some temperatures in the 60s, and that's going to be the story for the rest of the week and into next week. We actually might have some rain on Tuesday. I just saw that in the forecast, so that whole cloudy thing going on might be some sprinkles in there too. So stay tuned for that one. We'll update you a little bit more on that one on Monday. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. Monday on the program, we want to welcome Advanced Ear Care's Stuart Spencer. He's going to be here. And then Caring Senior Service, they've teamed up with On the Mend, and they have a great partnership going on about how they can get you services in your home and the tools you need to make sure you get to stay at home and live there a lot longer. So stay tuned for that. For all of us here at This Day, I want to say thank you for watching, and for all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.
Thank you.